Hi guys, and welcome to this week's Alakazam Video Blog. Hi guys, great to see you again. I'm happy to be here on the video blog. I think this is like the third week that I've been on the video blog, and Harry, who I've been on the last two vlogs with, isn't with me this week because he's still enjoying his holiday in Florida. But I am joined by John Carey, my good friend John Carey. John,
hi, buddy.
Welcome along.
Yeah.
We're making you work a little bit today. You've been working your nuts off with us in the shop.
Oh, we did the live and stuff, and yeah, it's all been good fun though, mate. And great seeing you and Dave, and you know, missing Peter and Harry and Jen and everybody, but they'll be back next week.
They are living the high life in Florida. They're
Absolutely.
having a very, very good time.
Well deserved break as well.
I'm sure that you've been seeing the photos and everything, and yeah, they're genuinely.
Just don't forget my dirty throws, please, Mr. Naylor. Thank you.
Subtle hint there, I feel. So John, we're here today to talk about a couple of different things. So I'll tell you what, let's start with Ultimatum, because
Stephen Brownlee.
Yeah, and do you know what? Ultimatum was released a few years ago, and it kind of slipped under the radar a little bit. When we were talking earlier on, you did yourself say that you had a copy.
Well, Peter very kindly gave me a set to have a look at, and he said, "Tell me what you think." And I just got sidetracked with my own projects, which is often the way with me. And then Dave brought it to my attention, and it's so direct. But you're not just buying one trick with this; you're buying a utility deck you can do many effects with, which are discussed in a lot of detail on the video instructions.
Right. Okay. And it is a truly utilitarian deck. I mean, Steve has come up with an idea here, which is very simple and straightforward in concept, but the killer routines that you can do with it.
Absolutely. I mean, with a bit of ingenuity, you could easily put a 5-minute set together with that deck.
Right. Okay. And that is definitely true. I mean, we had the pleasure of seeing Steve perform this when he sent through the sample, and you know, he's on here performing ideas with it.
Yeah.
And it's true. You know, if you're careful what you do with it, I mean, it is a full deck setup, but if you're careful what you do with it, then you can do miracle after miracle after miracle.
Oh, absolutely. 5 minutes of that, put the deck away, and then good night, I'm out of here, or segue into put the cards away, segue into non-cards, and you're good to go. Yeah,
and it's important to realise also that this is a deck that will look like, actually in some instances you're doing some really complicated sleight of hand, but you're not. You know, it's virtually self-working.
It's devious.
Yeah, and that's a great way of describing it. Devious. So check it out. We currently have stocks of these. I will just say that this has been done on the live, and it has been promoted via email. Peter promoted it on email, and they are selling quick. We do have more of the red ones than we do the blue ones, if colour preference is a thing for you. But just bear in mind that stocks, even though they're good at the moment, they are quickly selling out because it has become very popular. Mainly because we've been promoting it, and Dave did a performance on the live. So that is Ultimatum. I think what we'll probably do is we'll probably drop a trailer in at this point of Ultimatum. It might even be the one that Dave did on the live. So check it out. Ultimatum in stock by Steve Brownlee.
All right, John.
Yes.
Little trick here for you. You're going to play the pot of 3 people, so you're going to have to remember 3 cards, okay?
Okay.
I know. You're going to pick them out. So go for the first one, anyone you want.
That one there.
Have a look, remember it, show the guys at home. All right, and place it back.
Alrighty.
That's card number 1.
Yeah.
Card number 2, go for another one.
This is fair.
Yeah.
Show it to the guys?
Yeah, show it to the guys. You got it?
Yeah.
And place it back. That's 2 in your mind, so let's go for a third. It can be anyone.
That one.
Yeah. And show the guys. All right, and place it back. Okay, so that's 3 cards, basically remembered by you.
At the moment.
Now, what I want you to do is you're going to cut the pack into 3 piles. You can try and make them equal, but 3 piles on the table for me. Okay, great. So you got 3 cards in your mind?
Yes.
And do you remember them?
I do.
What was the first one?
9 of clubs.
Second one?
2 of diamonds.
And the third one?
I think it was the 8 of spades. 8 of spades, I think.
So that would be the 2 of diamonds.
Yeah.
That would be the 9 of clubs.
Yeah.
And that would be the 8 of spades.
You're a witch.
The 3 cards that you picked and clearly cut to are perfect.
No, it doesn't get much stronger.
It's good.
I love that thing. Where can I buy this?
Right here, Alakazam Magic.
So that was Dave performing the Ultimatum deck on my good friend John Carey. And we were just saying there actually, and you raised a very good point here, that with the Ultimatum deck, even though it is a full gaff deck, it doesn't smack of being...
It doesn't smell like a gaff deck at all. And as I mentioned earlier, you with a little bit of thinking and ingenuity, you could quite easily build a 4 or 5 minute routine around that deck, which if you're a working pro, is great because it's no longer a one-trick pony, it's actually a utility deck. And then you put them away and you finish your set, or you segue into something non-card, put them away, and you're good to go. You're good to go. And I'm going to re-explore the deck that Pete very kindly gave me a few years ago, and actually work on this and put a 5 minute set together.
Brilliant.
For that purpose, you know.
Excellent.
Should be fun.
Excellent. Ultimatum deck is obviously a card effect, which leads me very nicely onto my next thing. Now, John, I did an interview with you I think it's over a month ago now, maybe a few months back, for my book corner about your publications, and we've been friends for years.
Creeping up to 15 years. Well, it must be 15 years plus.
Wow. And you know, there's no denying in that time, you know, constantly. And I was having this conversation with your good friend Andy Hawkes yesterday. You know, he was of the opinion, he said to me, he said, "Oh, John Carey, he's like a machine." And you are like a machine. I mean, it is constant with you, and you never stop thinking about magic. You know, even this afternoon, you've shown me some ideas that you've been playing around with. That you know, you were quite open. You said to me only, even though you've been thinking about the idea for a little while, for years. Yesterday, you hit upon something and you thought, "Wow, actually, yeah, that works." And we were privileged enough to...
You never stop learning in this game, and there's no effect is ever finished.
Right.
No effect is ever finished, because there might be a moment of presentation, or a technique, or a subtlety you can add. You can, you know, take things in, add things in, or take things out.
Yeah.
Just a bit of verbiage that can actually make the difference.
Yeah.
To a piece, and I just love exploring, because there's still so much untapped potential in a pack of playing cards. It still is the most versatile prop in Magic. You know? I mean, just think of how many different plots you can do with a deck. Yeah,
and that's exactly it. And you know, you hit the nail on the head. You know, you never stop thinking about it, and that's part of the joy. I noticed there you doing a fan. I was expecting you to do a little bit of manipulation. And
well,
stuff.
no, I mean, you've got a young man called Theo here, and he taught me this Luke Dancy thing. Oh, I can't even do it. Let's have a go again. This fancy false cut thing, you know, something like that, cardistry, you know. Yeah, you can do.
We'll see it. Oh, if there was aces that appeared on your face now, that would have been truly amazing.
Cut the pack into 4 piles.
Okay.
How impressed would you be if there was an ace on top of each of those packets?
I would be extremely impressed.
Are my hands empty?
Yep.
Okay, because it's funny you should say that, because your wish is my command. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3.
I asked for that.
And there's 4 aces. I mean, you know. But I mean, it's crazy, you know. I mean, aces are interesting cards. Let me show you what I mean. The ace of spades has always been called the leader ace or the master ace. Yeah, give those a shuffle for me. Any quick shuffle, give them a cut. And pick them up and deal 12 cards face down into a pile. Not 11, not 13, just 12, yeah?
Yes.
And put the rest of the deck aside. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, 4 aces, 12 in different cards, and a charming personality. Alright, 2 out of 3, behave yourself, yeah. And the interesting thing is, people get to see the faces of all these cards. Look, 2 black and a red, they go there, yeah. Over here, a 4, a queen and a king, they go just here. Here we have a jack, a 5 and a 2, they go right there. And if you're really good at memory, we've got the 7 of clubs, the 10 of hearts and the queen of diamonds, they go just there, yeah? Boom, boom and boom. And as it's a trick with 4 aces, we put 1 here, 1 there, 1 there and 1 there. Are you ready to begin?
Yes.
I'm ready to finish, because you see there's no ace there, there's no ace there, there's no ace there, and that's because over here we have the 1, 2, 3, 4 aces.
Amazing.
Thank you.
That's amazing. So this is
This is from the Essential John Carey collection we did last year sometime.
We did, yes. And this is the thing that always strikes me
It's
about
called Stealth.
Stealth, Stealth or Stealth Aces?
Well, both, but
Both.
Stealth on there, I believe, yeah.
Right, okay. So this is the thing that always amazes me about you, John. That's right. Is that Andy Hawks is right. You are a machine, and I think it's important to have a bit of clarification here. You don't just look at an effect and then just alter it and go, oh yeah, that's that's either this or that. You really think about how the effect is either going to be enhanced or improved in some way or changed in some way. You're a great advocate of using subtlety over sleight of hand, and that's not because John can't do the magic, and this is the thing. People that think about magic all the time like you do, you quite often get to that point where you go, oh, do you know what? If I take that out and I add this in here, I've just saved a little bit of fluff and possibly a little bit of dead time here, but I've lost none of the impact of the effect. None of the impact of the effect.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I think the ace assembly that you just done there is a prime example. I mean, ace assemblies for the most part are very long-winded, with some exceptions.
Yeah.
And they take a lot of time, again with some exceptions, where it's a presentational thing.
Yeah.
But this is very much, there, done, boom, but you haven't lost any of the impact because your presentation at the same time is making this effect not only make sense, but it's wrapping it really nicely in a nice little parcel.
Yeah, because and also the strength of this is that the people actually see the faces and backs of every single card. That's the strength of this.
Yeah.
And you're in a position where the work,
Yeah.
and this is 95% self-working. There's only one little bit of work with this, which if you pick this up, you'll learn. It's the clarity, and the work is over so early that you can concentrate fully on the presentation.
Yeah.
It's anytime you can get an effect where any work is out of the way early, so it's home free. Sell it till the cows come home. Boom, bang, impact is a good thing. Is a good place to be.
Yeah, great.
And we'll give people another example of that with one more in a few moments from there.
So this is the Essential John Carey. Like John said, this was filmed late last year, I think it was.
Yeah, maybe last year.
And it is chock full of, there's 20 effects on here, plus loads and loads of great advice, tips, things that you should think about when you're approaching not just card magic, but magic in general, specifically
there's
card magic.
There's a coin item on there. There's some, I think there might be 2 coin items. There's an equivoque based item, mentalism item on there as well, a just chance effect as well, which is particularly strong.
So you're getting ideas from someone that spent a lot of time thinking about magic. So, it's seriously worth checking out. The queens are out on the table. I am looking at them thinking. Yeah,
let's try one more from here before we wrap this up. So we've got the 3 queens and a shuffle deck, of course. So give them a quick shuffle. And what I want you to do, Andy, is take out 3 number cards. Low value number cards, different values, so they contrast with the queens because you are going to sign them. Okay.
Low value.
I think that one's already signed, so maybe take another one out.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
All right. So 3 of spades, 5 of hearts,
and
2 of clubs. That's lovely. And you take the marker. And what I want you to do when you get the teeth in is to sign these 3 cards. 2 of clubs, sign card, 5 of hearts, sign 5 of hearts, and a sign 3 of spades. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So in about 3 months' time, you would have long forgotten about the situation. I will force one of these on you. You will sign it from another deck, and I will fall the jabbers out of you. But that will be a happy day.
Yeah, that will probably happen as well.
But these signatures don't come off, right?
No.
Yeah, it's permanent ink. Yeah, permanent ink. And we'll get back to these sign cards in a moment. But let me show the acrobatic abilities of these queens, these little ladies. Yeah, las damas as they call them in Spain. Put that one down into the packet. Just takes a few seconds, you see, and we say, alley up. You see, and it jumps to the top, yeah? But cards are like people, they get tired, so they want to go home to have a little rest. So we'll put this one away in my right pocket, just here. Something, if I can. That's my t-shirt and my phone. There we go. Second one, Queen of Diamonds. That goes into the packet. Amongst your signed cards, yeah? You only get to push that queen in. You get to snap your fingers, and lo and behold, that one jumps up. But cards are like people, they get tired and they like to go home. They get a little tired, so we'll put that one in my back pocket. So 3 down, 1 to go, yeah? Queen of clubs. But there's a problem at this point, Andy. You see, you and people at home know what's going to happen, and you know where it's going to happen, yeah? The only thing you might not know is when. Snap my fingers, you see, and Queen of clubs jumps up. But she gets very tired too. Hold your hand out. So she goes into a spectator's hand to keep nice and warm. Put your other hand on top. But you're probably wondering why I got you to sign these 3 cards at the beginning. Watch. Boom, bang, bang, Harry Nardi patter. And you see there's a queen, there's a queen, there's a queen. Lift up your hand because you see over there is the 5 of hearts, a signed card. In my pocket we have a mobile phone and a signed 3 of spades, and in my back pocket over here we have a signed 2 of clubs.
That is amazing, John.
That's ambitious interchange.
Yeah, that's great.
Thank you very much.
I saw, you may not remember this, or you might remember this, I saw you perform this at Portsmouth, I believe, a few years back when you were lecturing there.
Different version then. Yeah.
But I remember that when you did it, the audience, the reaction from the audience was just like, it was really weird because it went from a moment of, you could hear a pin drop because I don't think people would really realise what had happened.
Yeah.
To spontaneous sort of like clapping, and I think it was because of the way it was framed and the surprise element.
That was a WTF interchange I had on one of the early DVDs I did with Russ at RSVP.
Yeah, but you know, it's
a more recent version, 3 and 3, you know, signed cards, and it's the cleanest solution so far to date for me for that effect, because you know the interchange, which is what it is, hence the name, is usually loaded with lots of moves and work without talking about specific techniques. You know?
Yeah, and this is a great example of what I was saying just a minute ago, that you strip back not everything, but you've looked at it.
Hell no, not always. You know, you mustn't. The danger with streamlining is sometimes you can streamline too much and you dilute the impact of the effect. Yeah. When you get to a point where you've maybe stripped it down and you haven't decreased the impact of the effect, and possibly you've increased the impact of the effect because there's no more extraneous handling. Yeah. Well, that's a good place to be. But believe me, I have a discard pile that high at home as well. You know, they're not all, what's the American saying? They're not all biggies. You know, they're not all winners. Right. But you have to go through that evolution, that process. Yeah. And one bit of advice I give to people on, I think it was on the Zero to Hero Academy course we did last year, the first one. Maybe on the second one as well, when we repeated the course for new customers, is just take one plot and work on one plot for a week or 2 weeks and nothing else. Yeah. Work on the 4H plot, work on the ambitious card, work on, I don't know, colour separation out of this world or something like that, and focus your thoughts just on that one plot rather than jumping from here to there, from there to here. Yeah. Because otherwise you will just overload and magically combust, you know? Yeah, quite. If you're not careful. So, this is the Essential John Carey. We do have another DVD that is planned for Christmas release. Another 2 DVDs, prime time, yeah. So look out for that. John never fails. Never fails. You know, he is constantly coming up with top-notch material that I know lots and lots of magicians, professional, amateurs, semi-professionals, all kinds of magicians use worldwide. So seriously, check it out. If you haven't already, just go away. You check it out, all right? Because it is seriously, all of John's material is great, and his new set of DVDs will also be great as well. That is in stock now, so check it out on our website. And John, thank you again for performing for us. Oh, my pleasure, mate. You'll have the invoice by 5 o'clock. Oh, yeah, excellent. Okay. Hi guys, this is a quick effect from my Academy, Missing Pieces, which is due to air on the 14th of November at 7 PM UK time. It uses 4 coins, as you can see on the mat here, and 2 cards, in this case the Ace of Spades and the Queen of Diamonds. It will become apparent to you that actually if I was to cover these 2 coins at the back here, that the front 2 coins are still visible. If I was to move them over to the front, you'd see the ones at the back. The ones on the right, you'll see the ones on the left, and vice versa, and obviously the ones that are opposite as well. Now I've left the Ace of Spades, or I will leave the Ace of Spades face up, because this is going to be the leader. So anything that happens will happen underneath this Ace of Spades just here. So with that in mind, all you have to do is just watch the first coin. If I give it a little blow like this, in fact if I give you a little rub and a squeeze, this coin will disappear and reappear just over here. Now obviously it's not over on this card, it's not over here, it can only be in one place, which is underneath the Ace of Spades. Now the first time you may have missed it, so this time watch the coin. All I have to do is give a little squeeze and a rub
and this coin will also vanish. In fact, it's not over here because this coin that was underneath the Queen of Diamonds is my favourite one. It can only be underneath this card here, the Ace of Spades, but I'm not going to show you just at the second. All you have to do is watch the last one as I just toss it towards the Ace of Spades. If I do that, the coin will actually vanish from here. Now I mean it's vanished, it's not in the left hand, it's certainly not in the right hand, so where could it be? It's got to be under the card, right? But this is just an illusion. In fact, if we was to look now, each one of the coins is back in the place where it started. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 coins back in the place where they started off. So, John, this is my bit. This is my
a little bird tells me. A little bird tells me you're going to be teaching at the academy next Wednesday. Missing Pieces.
Missing Pieces, yes. So
what date is that on?
So that is on the 14th of November, which is next Wednesday, 7 o'clock UK time. Yes, it's my chance to do an academy. Dave and
Not
Peter,
before the time, are you?
Oh, thank you, thank you. Well, Dave and Peter and a couple of other people, yourself included, have mentioned to me before about doing an academy. I know that for most part, a lot of you I deal with on the end of the computer via emails or occasionally over the phone. So generally, I am the person that sorts out orders and does the admin stuff of the shop and
services
stuff.
Yeah.
So generally, you're the people. I'm the person that you guys speak to the most, I guess.
At times, you seem to do the work of more than one person in the sense of I don't know how you deal with it. You're dealing with the phone, you're dealing with the internet, you know, and you just seem to split yourself into two and manage to keep smiling. And
I love it, John. That's
yeah.
why. And I truly love it. That is not me just saying that for the camera. I do truly love it, and I do get a buzz out of speaking to customers and just generally being involved with everything. So that's from my point of view. But the academy has given me a chance to. Well, let's put it this way. The academy has given me a chance to kind of look at my experiences in magic. So we had a chat earlier on today about what the academy is for me, and even though there's going to be tricks, it is really a discussion, a talk, a conversation about my approach over the 31 odd years that I've been doing magic to magic. Now, I think I'm blessed in a lot of ways, and the people I've met, and obviously the fact that I work for Alakazam. And over the years, I have picked up little tips and things from other magicians worldwide that I think are worth passing on, and some of my own experiences, some conclusions that I've come to as well.
You're blessed to have such good people around you.
Yeah, exactly, and I think that's worth sharing, as well as, like I said, my experiences off my own back in magic, things that I've picked up from the tons of books that I've read, and I know I go on about that quite a bit, and just my experiences, my sort of thoughts on stuff. We talked about my thoughts with regards to humour, and it's really about that, my approach to sleight of hand, why I approach sleight of hand the way I do, my approach to scripting as well, which I've not mentioned before, because we've had conversations on scripting. I've had numerous conversations on scripting with people such as Dave, for example, almost on a daily basis. So I have kind of opinions about that, and opinions about approaching performing, and all sorts of different other things.
We always have a great buzz talking about sort of credits, because we kind of playfully challenge each other. If I don't know the credit, you'll know it, or vice versa.
Exactly.
And sometimes you pluck an obscure credit literally out of thin air almost, it seems. And I think, how the blah blah did he know that? Because I pride myself on my knowledge, but because I'm a book guy like you first and foremost. We grew up in an era where there wasn't instant gratification at the push of a button. It was a book coming out was an event, and and they usually weren't very particularly cheap when we were younger. We had to save up for them, but when we got them, we'd get home and we'd study, and you build up a knowledge base, and you learn about the history of these things and some of the famous people, like Vernon Carlyle, Mellini, Scarni, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, and also, and I think this is an important thing to kind of realise. When I got into magic, John's quite right. At that point, the books that were being released at that time were still from people that are possibly no longer with us.
Jennings and Dingle, for example.
Jennings,
Larry and
Dingle,
Derek,
Bruce Servon.
Bruce Servon,
So, but it's also important to realise that over the years, my approach has changed with regards to magic, bearing in mind both who have been before and who is now current. So Missing Pieces is literally exactly that. Through the years that I've been performing magic, there are things that I've come across that I thought, do you know what, that is worth bearing in mind and remembering, because you never know when that is going to become useful later on. It is that kind of a simulation, an amalgamation of information.
And this is something people are going to pick up on big time on the course, as well as seeing some great card and coin magic.
Yeah,
and stand-up stuff as well.
And I hope so. I hope that they'll see that.
You picked out some really, really strong material. I've been lucky enough to see a lot of it.
Thank you.
And no, people are genuinely going to love it. And I can imagine you're going to get lots of questions that night, you know?
Oh, good. Well, I hope so. I hope so. And I hope people will see that the tricks are trails of thought that have led me to conclusions about things that are now affecting my style of magic, my performance of magic. So if you haven't checked it out already, Missing Pieces, my academy, is due to go live next Wednesday, the 14th of November at 7 PM UK time. There's not a lot more to say about it. If you have any questions you want to field beforehand,
people can get it for £5 discount right now on early bird.
Yeah, so currently it's up there for $19.99. So get in quick. And that's it. That's all I just want to say about that. John, thank you again for...
An absolute pleasure. It's been a great day down here at HQ. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. It feels kind of strange with Pete and Harry and Jen not being here, but they'll be back next week in full form, no doubt.
I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will.
Yeah.
Just a couple more things I just wanted to say. When Harry is back, I know I've promised this for the last couple of weeks, but when Harry is back, we will announce the winners of the competitions that we have running, which you'll be able to see on previous vlogs. So check out the ones with me and Harry, and we will announce them once he's back. I think it's only fair that we choose the two winners between the two of us.
Yeah, that's cool. That's
fair. For all things wonderful, please check out our website, www.alakazam.co.uk. We're always here to help. We have a live chat function that is running at the moment. We try and be on there as much as possible. If we're not on there, then we will jump on there and answer the questions as soon as we possibly can. But 99% of the time we're on there live answering the questions. So anything you want to just email in or ask, by all means ask. If I don't know the answer, then we have resources to be able to answer that question for you. So check it out.
One other thing, I think it'd be remiss of not to say that in the next few weeks leading up to Christmas, and obviously with Blackpool on the horizon in February, that'll be here before we know it. Peter and Dave, the guys will be drip feeding out little teasers and information about some of the Blackpool releases. Yes. So look out for that in the next few weeks. Yeah. Lives and vlogs, guys. Yeah. There's some amazing stuff planned. There really is. And also one last thing, our new website is imminent. So it is due to go live very, very shortly. This has been a long time coming, and Peter has been working extremely hard with our web developers to make sure that it is super. It's just going to be a super website, so all the bells and all the whistles going to be worth waiting for. Yeah, apologies for the delays this year, but it's beyond Peter's control. Yeah, but it's going to be special, and it will be something that honestly was designed with you guys in mind. So super excited about that, and that should be imminent. So watch out for the newsletters and any further announcements on that one. Just one last thing, I know I've said it before. Thank you once again, John, for coming in. No problem, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. On behalf of myself, Andrew Paul, and John Carey, we want to say goodbye and thank you for watching the Alakazam Video Blog. See you later.